Hey guys, welcome to First Time Mom Mistakes. My name is Kathy, and today I want to talk about 5 of my main mistakes when it came to purchasing baby clothes. Now, I know that as a first time mom, you probably want to buy up all of those super cute clothes. I certainly did, but as it turns out, you really have to be a lot more thoughtful and practical unless you have just an unlimited budget and you don't care if your baby doesn't wear most of those clothes or wears them once. So let's jump right into it. Here are my mistakes. My very first mistake is exactly that, impulse buys. And what I mean is buying baby clothes without any kind of thought about season versus your baby's age. Now, I know that this is a really easy mistake to make. It certainly was for me because when we buy clothes for ourselves, we really don't have to think about how old are we going to be in winter versus summer, and are we not going to be able to wear that dress because we became, too big for it, too old, etc. But with babies, it's a much different scenario. So my very first purchase of baby outfits was this super cute strawberry outfit. It came with these little shorts and everything, and there were other pieces involved, and it was for a 6 months old baby. But my justification was, hey, my baby is going to be 6 months at some point, right? So she'll wear it. I mean, right? Well, not exactly. So, as it turned out, my baby actually turned 6 months dead in the middle of January when it was very cold outside, and she certainly was not going to be, running around wearing this short sleeve onesie t shirt and little shorts. So, I had to get really creative to get her to wear it at least a couple of times. What we really tend to not think about is, okay, my due date is this month, and then 3 months later, right? So baby clothes tend to work in 3 months intervals, right? So you go from newborn to 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, and then 6 to 9 months, and then 12 months, and so forth, until you get to 1 year. So you really have to kind of calculate, okay, if I'm giving birth in, let's say, October, my baby is going to be in that 0 to 3 months range, around October, November, December, maybe January. And what season is it going to be? And it's really a good idea to at least give it that much thought and buy your first, 3 months worth of outfits. I'm going to kind of go straight into my mistake number 2, which is buying way too much in advance. The reason why that's a bad idea is because your due date is not set. So you could give birth a couple of weeks early, a couple of weeks late. That's a good case scenario, unless your baby's born way premature. You also don't know if your baby is going to be a big baby or small baby. So one of the advice that I got from a friend was take both newborn size and 0 to 3 months with you, regardless of what they tell you during a sonogram and all that, because they really don't know. They can't measure your baby that exact until they come out into this world. So you don't know what size they're going to be. You also don't know how they're going to grow. My baby, for example, was 30th percentile around when she was born, but by 1 year, she's now 98th percentile. She did not stay at 30th percentile. So you don't know how rapid that growth is going to be. And if you calculate out, okay, 3 to 6 months, well, she should hit that, in spring, and then 6 to 9 months, oh, that should be summer. Well, it could be that your baby's growing so rapidly, they're actually going to be wearing your 3 to 6 months clothes when they're 2 months old. Or it could be vice versa. They could be a 15th percentile, 20th percentile. Their growth could be a lot slower. So it's very difficult to predict, and it's not a good idea to go and as much as we want to buy, 6 months worth of outfits, a year worth of outfits, that you just don't know if they're going to match the seasons and, your baby's actually going to wear. So that's my mistake number 2. My mistake number 3 involves zippers versus snaps. Now, the funny story is that the very first time I was shopping intentionally for baby clothes, I was at Bye Bye Baby store, and there was a lady there that was kind of roaming around, and another lady just saw that, hey, they're probably lost, so she asked, oh, do you need some help? She wasn't a store staff or anything. She just was there to purchase some baby clothes. And basically it turns out that the first lady was there to buy a gift for somebody. And she just was super, super lost about what to get them. Well, what the second lady said was, no matter what you do, get outfits with zippers. And I heard this and I thought, okay, I guess it kind of makes sense. But then I saw all of these super cute outfits with little snaps. So, like these sleep and plays. Well, there's a reason why they still have tags on them. And the reason is that when you're shopping and you're still pregnant, you think like, oh, these little snaps, what's the big deal? Okay, yeah, there's many of them, they kind of go down the legs, but it's not a big deal. I'll be able to get that done in no time. Well, when you are super sleep deprived and it's like 2 a.m. and you're doing a diaper change for, I don't know what time, like 20th time that day, right? You seriously do not want to be snapping those. So this was one outfit that it was just so cute. I just couldn't help it. I ended up, I think, putting this on my baby once, one day. And the thing is, when you really start to count the number of these snaps, and especially on the legs when they have to align and you can't make a mistake, especially, in the dark and all that, this is your worst nightmare. You do not want to be doing this with a newborn or, like a 1 month old, 2 months old. A little later, it's okay, but this was supposed to be for a newborn baby or like a 1 month old baby. So really, really bad idea. I ended up getting these zipper sleep and plays later. So much easier. I mean, this is a lifesaver, seriously. You just put their little legs in and you zip it up. It makes a huge difference in your world. Just believe me. I did not listen to that lady, and that was a huge, huge mistake. So that was my third big one. The fourth one was getting super cute outfits because I love them without any regard as to how comfortable they're going to be. Again, especially for a very young baby. We're not talking about a 6 months old, 9 months old, but for a young baby. So something like this, I mean, I couldn't pass it up. It's just so cute, and it came with this little hat. But this is for a 0 to 3 months old, and you know what? It's a little bit scratchy. I mean, it's pretty soft, but it also has snaps on the back, and your baby's spending most of their time on the back. And basically, long story short, I put this on her once and never again. It was really just to justify the purchase. The way that I would put it is, for the first maybe 3 to 4 months of your baby's life, they really just want to be in the softest, stretchiest, like most comfortable clothes ever. They don't need, all the frills and all that stuff. Now, if you're gonna go to a bunch of outings, and it depends on your lifestyle, okay, maybe you can get some special outfits for that. But if you're staying at home, it's just not worth it. I mean, she was, in my case, she was very uncomfortable, I could tell. And what's the point? You want your baby to be happy and comfortable. And if that's just your, cotton onesie or, little stretchy pants, all that, hey, it's perfect because your baby's happy. So that was my fourth mistake. And my final mistake was kind of investing into items that I was used to investing into as an adult, basically spending more money without really putting much thought into the fact that the baby is going to grow out of stuff really, really fast and maybe wear something once and never again. So, what I ended up doing is I spent a bunch of money in the beginning on things like this Burt's Bees coat, which, by the way, she never even wore. I think I tried it on her once at home and that was it. And, a bunch of other winter clothes. And every single piece is like 30-40 bucks, but when you put it all together it's like $200-$300. Hey, if that's nothing to your budget, then you can go ahead and ignore that. But to me, spending $200-$300 on things that if my baby wore it, be perfect, I wouldn't think anything of it, but she either never wore or wore once. It was like, okay, what am I doing here? So that was my final mistake, just investing into, things like especially coats, winter clothes that we're used to wearing for years and years and years, many seasons. And so we think, okay, hey, we'll splurge here. For a baby, it's not worth it. They will just outgrow it like in no time, in seconds it feels like, and then you have to buy more stuff. So by the way, all these boxes that you see right next to me, this is like a year's worth of clothes, and actually the boxes are bigger when the baby was younger. So like this is newborn in 0 to 3 months, and the boxes got smaller and smaller because as I went on I just became more and more practical with what I chose to purchase, because I saw how fast we were growing out of things. So those are my 5 main mistakes with baby clothes purchases. Now I do want to point out one thing with snaps, and this is just my one little tip. I don't know if you can find something like this, but one of my lifesavers with my newborn baby and up until she was about 3 months old was these side snap onesies. And you might think, well, you just talked about how snaps are awful. I actually thought that this was a different story because you don't ever undo these side snaps for a diaper change in the middle of the night or anything like that. And it's really so much easier to open this up and put your baby on top of this onesie and then just snap it up like this. You never have to put the onesie over the baby's head. They just don't tend to like something going over their face, and you have to lift their head, all that stuff. And then for diaper change, it's the same exact thing as a regular onesie. So this is from Uniqlo. I could not find these from any other brand, but this was a huge lifesaver for me. So this is one exception to the snap mistake. I loved these side snap onesies. I thought they were great. So that's it from me for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it useful. If you have any questions at all on baby clothes, please comment below and I will be more than happy to answer. Things like what brands did I like or not like, etc. And I will see you again next time.